What's going on, Reefers? Blaine here, Reefapalooza Day 2, and we're over at the Coral View booth with Carlos. Thank you, Carlos, for having me on here. Let's talk a little bit about the new products we've got sitting right here. We've got the Blenny all shown off, but we've got two products. Let's talk about what we've got here.
Yeah, so let's clarify. This is the Blenny and this is the Control XS3. They're two separate products. We just put them in the same place. So you do not need both of them in order to run. Let's talk about the Blenny first. The Blenny is kind of like a child of the minnow that was born because we were listening to comments, we were reading the comments, and people were saying, it's like, we need 4 dosers, or I would like to use this on my 40, 50 gallon tank. And we're like, okay, the minnow is good, but there's no drive port, so how do I run an ATO? So then we're like, okay, we can do this. So we decided to come up with a device that has 4 heads, 4 sensors, and 2 drive ports, which is perfect because now you're talking about, let's talk about alkalinity, calcium, magnesium, maybe some kind of trace element. And then you have the drive ports where you can connect a small ATO pump, or you can connect a small reactor like a GFO or carbon reactor that you put on your nano tank. And the sense ports, you have temperature, water level, leak detector, and something else. So technically, this is a perfect device for that small tank.
For sure. I think Hydros has done an amazing job, I think recently, right? The innovation, right? Getting the hobbyists' questions, concerns, and putting them into an actual product, right? I think that's something really cool about Hydros is you guys are genuinely taking all that information, right? I talked about it with Michael, taking all that information and then building something to what they want. Now, we've got this little guy right down here. So this was an awesome little unit that I started talking about with you guys off camera. Let's get in on the X3S. Let's talk more about the X3S.
So the X3S was as a child for the OGs. We call them the OGs. It's the people that purchase Hydros, the Control 4, and then they purchase an XP8, and they probably purchase something else, and then they wanted a salinity port. But I already have all this Hydros. I don't need an X10, and I don't want to purchase a launch because I really don't need it. That meant I'm out. I don't have a salinity port. And we wanted to, take care of our OGs. So at that point, we decided, you know what? We have an X3 with a pH port. It should be pretty simple to change the circuitry and convert it into an X3S, which is salinity. Now, I do want to clarify something because I've seen the comments online is that, can I connect a pH, ORP, or a salinity conductivity probe? And that's not the case. Unfortunately, pH and ORP is a completely different circuitry and it won't work. So this is strictly conductivity / salinity. If you are looking for pH or ORP, then you do have to go with the X3 without yes.
It's nice too, because if you're looking to just get that reading on salinity, you're also still getting a brain on your system, right?
Absolutely.
You have a full controller in this tiny unit. I know it's kind of hard for a lot of people to comprehend that, but this small little thing can be a brain for the entire system.
Yeah, exactly. And this small little thing has the same brain as the Blenny, and it has the same brain as every single device that we're displaying here. The price on this one is going to be $225.
Okay.
And that one's available today. Actually, they can purchase it on the website.
I was going to say, you guys can find it on our website right now. And I'm sure some people want to hear too. I would love to hear if you guys have an update on the Maven. Can we talk a little bit about the Maven? I'm curious.
Well, we have, and we just released a video about it. And what we wanted to say in a nutshell is we're going to release it when we think it's ready for the customer. We want the customer to have that experience where you get the device and 3 months later, 6 months later, a year later, it works.
Right.
And that's what we want. So we wanted to make sure that is correct. I can tell you right now, there are about 9 different iterations of the Maven. We've gone through them. And if you ask any developer, any company, any manufacturer, you go through versions. You don't release the first version. You go through many versions, and a lot of times it could be the 20th version before we actually release it. I'm not saying it's going to take that long, but we want to put the customer first. We don't want the customer to have a bad experience, return the item to us, then we're dealing with the support. The customer is angry. That's not what we want to do. We want to make sure that everything is good.
For sure. I wanted to ask, I know I get the comments on last year's Maven video, so I wanted to get a little update for everyone at home. I have to say though, the Blenny, very cool. I love the fact that you have the ability to have 4 dosers, all the sense ports, the drive ports, all those things packed into one unit. Again, Hydros constantly innovating and coming up with new things. Carlos, thank you so much for letting me jump in over here, grab you away from all your work, and talk about some Hydros products. If you guys are interested in grabbing any of these products, not the Blenny just yet, but if you're interested in grabbing any other Hydros products, be sure to head over to the website now and check them out. If you guys have hung out all the way through this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on any future uploads.